All right, good morning, traders. Welcome to the Bookmap All Markets webinar. This is Bruce at Bookmap. We'll go through live order flow analysis using Bookmap. Got some really interesting markets right now. A lot of volatility, a lot going on. Really interesting markets in the fundamentals here. So strap on your helmet here and get ready for the for some volatility. All right, so anyway, general disclosure: all Bookmap limited materials, information, and presentations are for educational purposes and should not be considered specific investment advice nor recommendations. Risk disclosure: trading futures, equities, and digital currencies involves substantial risk of loss and is not suitable for all investors. Past performance is not necessarily indicative of future results. All right, so like I said, buckle up. We can see here we just had a 30-point move, a 25-point move just here at 10 a.m. A little bit of data coming out, it looks like, and see, hold on just a minute here. Markets are very skittish right now. Yeah, so anyway, and I have some interesting things to show you guys as well. New pace of tape add-on here that will be available soon. But we have pace of tape already, but this is pace of tape in balance, and was testing that just a little earlier. We'll go through more of it in just a minute. Anyway, let's take a big step back here. You've probably been reading about a lot of what's going on in the markets and the fundamentals here. Due to that, you can see the volatility. And if you guys want, we also have the VIX up here. You can see the, I've got it from 7:30. This is the VIX futures. So it's a CBOE. I'll show you where you can find this if you are interested in this and trading the VIX. Okay, that's the big distinction here. It's not the VIX index, it is the tradable futures product. It's the mini product. Okay, so if you are interested in that, here's where you go. Just go to bookmap.com/dxfeed and scroll down, and then you'll click on this here, number 2, and you'll see it in here. Right, it's this one here. It's $37 a month. So, it's adding another cost here for really just the VIX. It's up to you, right? If you want to trade the VIX, if you want to hedge, whatever it might be. But we do have connectivity to it. That's all I wanted to go over with you guys. It can lead to some really, really interesting things here. Anyway, all right. So let's jump back here. Let's take a look at the S&P E-mini. You can see the markets are all over the place in here. Let me jump back here to the larger time frame here. This is the daily over here on the left hand side, we can see the volatility last week and then also today. Big candle down, but it's retraced almost half the way back up already. We'll take a look at some of these areas in here. It's the same ideas in here of just supply and demand, and we're reading the order flow even on these higher time frames in here. We're understanding where the traders are, what their activity is like, or participation in the auction is like in some of these areas in here, looking for some profit taking down in some of these areas, looking for maybe some buyers to try to scoop things up at a very, very steep discount. So a lot going on in here, and a lot we're here for the order flow, that's the key. So we just want to understand what's going on with the price action combined with the transactions of the aggressors, the market buy and sell orders, which are the dots here in Bookmap, and then the liquidity. Okay, so for example, look at this high liquidity: filled, filled, and filled. Okay, so people are buying in these areas. Now, are they buying to cover? Are they buying to enter? Does not matter. They are buying, and you can see there is more supply through these areas until we get down here. This is where we see the reversal take place. Kind of a mini head and shoulders in here. You can see the buyers come back in, and then this is the same exact stuff we always look at. The buyers came in, they started to break this structure, they retested here, and then now they've broken it up here, right? So this is around 8:30, and then we're looking for to see if they're going to support it here. If traders are supporting it in these areas in here, do we see more sellers, more supply come in? You see some, but not a whole lot, and we see buyers here. Okay, look where it retested again here. You cannot make this stuff up. This is how the market works. It's based off of the buyers and sellers, the orders, the order flow. All right, so let me see if there's any questions in here before we continue on. Just a minute here. All right, good morning, everybody. Good morning, Hector, Stephen, Rob, DNT. Yeah, the pace of tape and balance, you guys will have access to that soon. Right? You probably hear it over in YouTube. Let's see here. Yeah, you'll be able to hear it over in YouTube, but not here in Discord, unfortunately. So let's back test this in here. Let's try to get some use out of it here, because I was testing it earlier today, and it's not, I mean, you can see it really picking up here now, right here, or it really selling off here. The pace of the tape here, a lot of selling. All right, we're already down pretty low, right? So, and you can see the move here, right down into these areas in here. But this is what we want to understand, is the relationship. And this is such a great tool, as you guys know, using the volume pressure imbalance. This is such a great tool to be able to very easily look at these levels where it went to the extremes, where it's greener up here or redder down here below the 70% threshold. If I right click on the pace of tape market pulse widget, I have it at 70%. I have the volume here. I'm going to bring that down. We have a half-life period of 10 seconds, and we have a 5-minute training period. Okay, so these are the settings I'm using, and I have it in the subchart here as well. And then this is how you can so quickly go back and test it. See if are you getting signals in areas that are helpful. Okay, so we'll take a look at it here. You can see that well here, this was right before the data. Oh, you see the pace of tape really pick up, and then up during the top, you see it pick up as well to the sell side. Okay, now we just had it to the sell side down here. Okay, but we don't see much follow through. Now, we want to understand, like, what's actually going on in here with the pace of tape. And let me show you. It's really simple here. We're looking at the tape, and we're going to look at the time and sales in here. And we can filter it in here, but we're looking for, in fact, let's filter it a little bit. Okay, so minimum size, let's put in maybe 10. Okay, and starting to understand, like, buyers or sellers coming in. Okay, these are transactions. This is the tape. All right, so we're trying to gauge insight by not having to stare at the time and sales in here and understand, like, are there more buyers and sellers, etc. You can see that we sold off in here, and or at least the pace of tape did, but we didn't see it really drop here. Okay, so that's pretty interesting. Maybe there's a big iceberg order down here. Well, we can double check that. Let's take a look. Nope. Right. So now this is kind of an interesting, and we'll cover volatility in just a minute here. That was on the agenda, but since we're moving forward with this pace of tape and testing it, how to gain insight using this tool is by looking at it here in the subchart, and we're getting those readings right on the chart here. Okay, subchart and chart, main chart here. All right, so we're seeing selling here. Okay, selling here at the top of this little range in here. Okay, so now let's take a look here. And we know there was heavy selling in there, right? And you can see it over here in the pace of tape. All right, so therefore, I am looking now for sellers to try to drop it at least down to 02 here. And now from 15 to 02 or 200, we're talking 15 points in here. This is where we need to be very careful. So if you guys are trading with your minis, then well, you know, be really careful here, because you're going to have to widen out your stops. And there's a couple different ways that you can trade volatility. One very simple method is widen out your stops and drop down your size. So if that's the case, then trade micros, and you can, 1 mini is equal to 10 micros. So consider that. And then you're going to have to widen out your stops. Now, if this doesn't fit the way you trade, then maybe you just kind of sit on the sidelines here. All right, so because you're too risk exposed, and if you don't catch it right, you can really get hurt. Right now, the other way to look at this is look at some of the momentum moves in here, and you're in and you're out really quickly, or you're looking for only a specific move. You take your profits, and you can trade your normal size, or reduced size if you want, but you're not widening your stops out so much, like the previous idea. Okay? Instead, you're just looking for getting out quickly. Right now, typically in this kind of environment in here, this is in this volatility, you'll see heavy sell-offs, but you'll also see these squeezes that are just incredible. These whips are immense. So really read the order flow in here. Look at some of these areas in here and protect yourself, okay? Because it can whip against you, and it can continue to go and do something that is unexpected. We're in a different environment right now, right? So there's something to be very aware of, and protect yourself. Okay, you might want to just kind of sit back and watch, and take it, start to get a feel for it first before jumping in. All right. You're having some RAM issues. Yeah. You have just the NQ and the ES open. Okay. I don't know what kind of machine you have. You might want to reach out to support, Rob. In the meantime, though, you can definitely go to bookmap.com, and you can look up your specs in here at the knowledge base. Click on the more button, go to the knowledge base here, and you can look at from the regular user guide section in here, the system requirements in here. Okay, so read through that, and then there's all sorts of suggestions in here on how to maybe optimize it, right? So you can read through this in here, and yeah, where is that optimizing? And they just recently kind of changed things around in here. Anyway, you look for it in here, Rob. There, I mean, I know the pages. Like we've had we have several pages in here on how to consider optimizing your book map. Okay. Your computer's quite old. Okay. Yeah, and also your connection. Make sure you're connected with a wire to your modem router. All right, guys. Well, let's continue on then. And any questions on volatility and how to handle this? No. All right. So yeah, it is. I mean, put it this way though. Like these are the days that you look for, actually, because you can make money so quickly. Now you can, there's the double-edged sword on that. You can really lose it just as quick. You can really get hurt. All right, so just note that, and the environment that we're in right now, there's all sorts of things unwinding in the global markets. We have the carry trade with the Japanese yen and a stronger yen really kind of screwing some things up. I mean, we see that the stock market going down. We see gold going down. We see the dollar index going down as well. I mean, we had we're having a real shift in here, and this is, I think, we talked about this in the Bookmap Academy meeting. In the Bookmap Academy meeting, it was like this kind of strange environment, and well, it's due to all these kind of larger player or bigger picture global market outlook. So, for example, non-farm. On Wednesday we had FOMC, and then we had non-farm on Friday. The non-farm numbers were less than expected. So now, and you see the market drop. Okay, so bad news is kind of like bad news. Before it was good, but why is that? Well, it's because you can take a look at the dollar index, and everyone, or a lot of traders, are anticipating a rate cut in September, and it might even be 2 basis points. There may even be, maybe they even come out beforehand, and before the FOMC meeting. Okay, so that's happened in the past as well. So there's going to be a lot of volatility in here, right? So anyway, keep your news feeds open, and start to understand kind of what's going on in here. All right. All right, so for example, right now, let's take a look at this in here. Well, there's quite a bit of buying in here, right? Okay, quite a bit. Look at this pace of tape in here, right? So I'm looking for buyers to continue until we see something else. Now, where are we looking for the sellers? I'm really keen on this 15 level here, 52.15. Okay, if we can get some sellers down here, look out. Okay, now we're going to look for, now pace of tape has been, really interesting one. We see the transactions really pick up, and then there's kind of a delay, and then the market moves, right? So we're going to keep an eye out on that, and here we can back test it, like I said in here. Here we see the selling, here we see the selling, and that was it though. So here we didn't get a continuation move, we got kind of a reversal. Now here we're getting pretty extreme buying up here, and then now we're down at this 15 level. Okay, so yeah, I don't see sellers yet, but we're looking for it. Okay, let's see if we see a lot of traders come in and trade below 15 on size here. Okay, pace of tape, nothing yet. Okay, but looking for it, and let's see. All right, let's see it, guys, and let's see down to 02 or 200 here. Here we go. Pace of tape has not picked up yet. Okay, we should see that or hear that soon. All right, so there's our 203 at the swing here. Be a little bit lower into 200. Now that, we've been waiting for some of these 15-point moves, some weeks ago. It took all day. These things are happening rather quickly now. Yeah, I recall like I first started trading right around the financial crisis, and was just amazed to see like God, I was looking at the Dow uh, go down 1,000 points and then come back 700 or 800 points, and then go back down another 1,000. So this is really have to pay attention here to some of these moves. Okay, because the whips are tremendous. Okay, so here we have, look at this kind of little area right in here. Our selling did not hit the figure yet, and then we see buying coming in. I don't see any selling down here. I see more buying here. So let's see if we can get the buyers and move it right back up to where we dropped from at 15 here. Okay, there we go. Another thing to look at in here, I've been demoing the pace of tape, but let's actually listen to it, and I'll turn it off in the subchart here. And we've been covering stops and icebergs for quite a while, but in this environment in here, we've been looking at stop run to stop run type of swings. And like, look at the big stop run up here to the upside here. Now, that was data, but high liquidity up here around 55, 56, and then it sold off right back down to where it initiated from here. Okay, another stop run right in here a little bit. Okay, so people are selling and then they're just getting squeezed. Okay, a bit of a stop run to the downside here. Just these buyers in here feeling a little bit of pain. So this is, again, our kind of pivot right here. Let's put a horizontal line in there. We're going to look at 15, above or below. Okay, obviously we're looking at the swings as well, and see what it looks like here for this time frame right now. Let's see. I've got a question for you guys. See if I can put a poll in here. I think in Discord. Would really like to get your feedback on this. Did you like the? Do you prefer to see live trading? Or would you prefer to just go over this live analysis? Because live trading, like, things are moving pretty quickly in here, and we're going to miss a lot of the education. The reason that we've been going over live trading, and it is in sim demo paper trading mode. The reason being, though, is to understand order flow and order management in here. And the advantage of seeing the live trading is with the trade management, but the advantage of the live education, and then looking for certain moves to unfold, the advantage there is, and I'm just going to put this in here for Discord guys. If you just give it a thumbs up or a thumbs down, right, that would do the trick in here, right? So and the live forward-looking analysis, though, has its advantages as well. We can cover so many more things for the order flow. Okay, so I'm going to put a poll in here. I guess maybe live analysis is right, but all right, there we go. All right, guys, our sellers are coming in. All right, now let's take a look at this. We see the stop run here. Okay, we're below this area in here. Our pace of tape is, we're starting to see some buyers now and some interest. Okay, well, maybe if we're looking for the stop run, then we're looking for back up above here, so we're staying away until we see something like that looks pretty good in here for either a pullback, but I'm going to avoid the continuation move in here, and we may miss it, but we'd look for a pullback here, and then we're going to look for what happens up in this area here, just around 5,200, before looking for a specific move. All right, we only got 3 votes over there, guys. And while you're at it, hey, please hit the like button or subscribe to the channel. We do these live market analysis and trading 3 days a week, and the whole goal here is to go through all of the order flow so that you guys can understand it, learn it, and integrate this within your trading. Okay, so it's the foundational course, and then you can come to our learning center there, and we have many different traders, like 22 or 23 different streamers in there. Okay, so here we go. Look at this in here. So see how it can be so tricky, but the order flow is telling us pretty good stuff so far. Here we see we were looking for the move back down below, or I'm sorry, the back down to 5,200. Now we saw the drop below, but we were like, no, we're going to look for either a pullback or and see what happens back up in here. Okay, we're not looking for the continuation move in here. If we see that heavy selling or that pace of tape, pick up, that maybe is something different. But the next level that we're looking for is down here. Okay, the swing at this area here. There's also a bit of a high volume node down there. Right, so but I'm going to put it down by where the swing is. Okay. You can also see there's another little area in here where the market kind of could not go higher here, and that's finally where it broke out from in here. So it's kind of a zone, actually, as you can see, between 87 and 75 here. All right, but let me get rid of this 87 here. I don't want to make it, I don't want too many lines on here. Let's see, Tom, can't answer the question that way. It is structured instead of yes or no. It needs to, oh, yeah, you're right. Hold on a minute. I'm just going to end it, and we'll try it again. Sorry about that. And same over in Discord. Sorry, guys. Okay, forward-looking analysis slowdown. Yeah, I mean, because you trade differently than I do. It makes good sense. We just always get the question of, that's great, but how do you trade it? There you go. Okay. Okay, you guys are already overcoming the limitation in Discord. Thank you. So yeah, just let me know which one you prefer. So it looks like you like both. So I mean, we can do that as well. Guys, look at the buying in here. This is tremendous. Okay, so this is rather interesting bunch of transactions in here. So yeah, I'm still looking for it to go higher here. No question. Okay. So we were looking for we avoided the move down, and I see nothing but buying. So I'm just looking for the move back up. Let's go back up to this 27 level up here, and maybe we get a nice squeeze up above that and hit 55 or 50 up here, the figure. Okay, so that'll be like a basically like a 50-point move up here. We can look at CVD if you like. We've been covering kind of a lot of in CVD recently. Kenji. Yeah, thanks, Dan. You put together the the poll. Yeah, way to go, Dan. Okay, interesting. I have not heard the pace of tape picking up at all. And over here we have the size 10. Actually, let's bring it down to 5 and see what. So it has to be 5 or greater in order for this to work. All right. Well, this is a good example of understanding the participants in the auction. Okay. Now we'll see. We'll see if we get down below in some of these areas and that selling really picks up, then we were going to have a huge move to the downside, and we should see huge stop runs. Okay. So is this covering? I don't know. We don't know. But look at the buying in here. Look at the bars. Look at the dots. Okay, there's a lot of buying. Right now, the last time I saw something like this, this kind of buying, it was in crypto, to be honest, and it was a few years ago, and it was several years ago, and it was just amazing. The Bitcoin market would go kind of up and down, and it really wasn't moving up so much, but there was just tremendous buying in it, and then later it moved up like 10,000, 20,000. It went up to like 50,000, I think, that at that point. And that was the first move, 50 or 60, whatever it was, and before it retraced all the way back down again to something like 10. Anyway, look for these things. This is what we're looking for in order flow. And we want to understand not just the market structure and the volume here, the transactions. We're also looking for who's taking the other side, okay? Because we really need to understand that. All right, and you can see that it's kind of hard to see in here in the ES because of this algo. So demoed this for you several times last week. You guys have over in Discord, you all know this. You've got the Trader Map Lite version here. You cannot trade from it, nor can you get the MBO data or stops and icebergs in here. Okay, but we can understand the auction here, where they're bidding, where they're offering in here. Now here's our pace of tape picking up again. I'm looking for the move right back up to 21, and then this looks good. If we get some momentum here, we can get a move up into this kind of 30 level up here. Okay, and that might lead to 50. All right, let's look for a measured move in here. All right, so from 92 up to 21 here, or to 2022, let's say. Okay, and then we're just going to take that and look for something similar here. Okay, so yep, 30. back up into these levels up in here. 35 also looks pretty good. Yeah, here's your CVD. Look at it climbing here. Well, Hector, look at this. I mean, it's unbelievable, right? I mean, there's no denying it. I mean, there's nothing but buying. Well, not nothing but aggressive buying in here. And now a lot of questions though. Like, we're looking for momentum move here. Okay? If it can't move, you know, that's telling us something as well. Okay, so let's see here. Look at the exhaustion in here. Now we're getting our buyers back up here. All right, so sellers starting to come in now. All right, so now let's see if the sellers then should be able to reach right back down to this liquidity here at 04. Yeah, thanks, Slowdown. If I'm not going to be, if I'm not trading from the chart in here, then great, because we can look at Trader Map Pro. What determines the whether you use standard chart versus Trader Map Lite? Well, most of the time it was because of stops and icebergs here or trading. That's the only reasons why I would use not use the Trader Map Lite Meeks. Yeah, that's it. And both of those will be fixed soon. Okay, so it'll be fixed in August, probably, you know, in a few weeks. I don't have a date to promise you, but I'll look for it. Okay, interesting. So more live trading you guys prefer over in YouTube. Okay. All right, so let's see here now. Okay, this is where it dropped from, and we found some sellers right in here. Okay, let's see if we get more sellers in here. I'm going to look at also a trend line in here, okay, and see if that breaks, and if we see heavy selling coming in. Okay, because all of this buying in here has not moved that market. Okay, not much. I mean, we do see this move here, but it's just to the top of the range. We are in a range. Hey, look at this volume profile in here. It's huge. Of all of this activity in here, we can split it out too. Let's actually do that. I'm going to add in another column in here. Someone was asking about columns and how to use it. So let's look at delta in here. So just go to the settings and then on delta. So tremendous delta here on the buy side. All right, now that means, you know, all of these traders in here are buyers. Where are they going to feel the pain? Well, they're going to feel the pain down here, just below the figure. And the majority of them, maybe here as well, 06. And you can see why. I mean, here's the swing and also the trend line. All right. So anyway, let's jump back to the Trader Map Lite version here. Okay, high liquidity up at 20, high liquidity down at 04. All right, so here we go now. Let's see if these sellers are ready to move the market here. If we see our heavy selling come in, and we can get a really nice move here. Okay, probably down to, well, likely down to this liquidity here at 87. All right, another thing to be very careful in here about, did we have previous selling in here? No, we didn't. So we have to be very wary of a trap in here. When we look at a reversal or that selling to come in, we need to see clusters of selling that are starting to emerge right now. Okay, but this can be, we might get a move down below 04, get back up above with buyers, and they come back up and trade into 20. Then we have the sellers come back in, trade it back down here again, and then able to move it at that point. Okay, so this scenario happens all the time on all time frames. So we want to be really careful about that. Okay, so yeah, here we go, right? So it just kind of dips below, trades into this liquidity here at the bottom of the range, and let's see if those buyers, now they've broken this little structure in here, but we're looking for, maybe you can swing a little bit higher here up into 20, 22. Okay, I've not heard pace of tape at all. Here we go. Now it's starting to pick up. All right, so a little bit of buying on the pace of tape. Okay, buyers, let's see it. Move it up to the top of the range here, 17, 20, 22. Okay, and then all of these buyers are still right. All right, I got to jump back and look at stops and icebergs in here. If I had, you might want to, if you have multiple monitors in here, then have this chart with stops and icebergs on one, and then have your trader map light on another. And then you can trade off of your regular ES with Rhythmic here. All right, let's see the squeeze here. Looking for it. Let's see it, buyers. Looking for some momentum here up into these levels, and we might get even the bigger move that we were kind of outlining here before, up into 30 or 35 or 50. Okay, so we're up at the top of the range of this small range here, or near it. Okay, let's see it again. Buyers right here, right now at 12 or 13. Not so many. And some exhaustion there, some selling there. So no insight at the moment. In fact, some selling coming in. All right, well, maybe that's all they get out of it here. Now, let's see. All of that buying, and they failed to move back up into the top of the range here. Okay, let's look for the sellers now. Down here, we have our first cluster of selling, right? Shark, this is your 1, 2, 3 pattern right here. Looking for these swings and looking for the volume within the swings. Okay, so again, down we test down here, but we do not get the sellers here. Hector, I do not look at fibs. I'm not real big on fibs. Okay, I used to trade them. I just really I don't know who's looking at them and what levels they're looking at. It would be wonderful if it worked for me. I love the whole idea, the concept, everything. All right, here's some exhaustion, guys. Some selling. Let's see it though. These buyers have failed to move it, and I love seeing this exhaustion up here. Okay, let's see if we can get our sellers here. And then we get a move right back down into 04, and then maybe the figure at 5,200. Yeah, that is a nice spring in there. Slowdown right in here. Guys, this is not an easy read right now. I mean, there's still quite a few more buyers than sellers. That's for sure. And we just don't, at the edges in here. I mean, this looks like exhaustion and selling. We'd look for it to retrace back down into the middle or the other side of the range, and then we'll see if we get sellers here. Okay, so or are we going to come back up in here? We're going to get those buyers that we're looking for earlier, and then for them to move it up into our measured move and maybe 50 as well. Okay, selling again. Okay, I'm looking for sellers to drop it down to like 0.3 and then the figure, and then we'll see if they can really pick it up, and then 190 swing, or this liquidity at 187 that we had talked about before. Okay, looking for it now. Right, so we've got all these buyers in here. We're looking for the squeeze. We're looking for some heavy selling, and the pace of tape is not picking up at this point. All right, so that's kind of interesting that we have not heard the pace of tape pick up. Okay, usually this is where we get this big move here. All right, well, let's see here. We're getting a pullback and starting to see the pace of tape pick up. Pull back right to where these sellers came in. And that's going to be rather at the point of control. It's not really, but you can see it's right in the middle of all of this action here. Okay, so this is now a bit of a critical area right here at 09. Again, really careful in here, guys. I mean, these things, like as we were talking in the academy meeting, that these environments, like these big shifts and these big unwinds of positions based off of interest rates and market correlations, etc. Like a lot of times, it is surprising. And it doesn't, there's, like I said, how odd is it to see everything going down? The bonds, the gold, the stock markets, the dollar, all going down. The euro is what went up. Here, let me show if I can even get to the website here. Hold on a minute. There we go. Okay, guys, we're getting our answer here, and we're getting our pace of tape starting to pick up here. All right, so the squeeze is on. All of these sellers in here, they got it wrong. We're looking for this 30. We're looking for momentum on up to 35. Our first levels here at the swing here are, I liked 30 because we had liquidity there, and then we're still looking for the squeeze though on up into 35 and then 50 here. All right, so there you go. Here's our momentum move. We're looking for it here. I cannot even get to investing.com to take a look at euro dollar here. See if I can find it somewhere else. Through Rhythmic, I guess. Does this make sense that why we're, I mean, we were looking for that move earlier because of all this buying. this is what happened here. It's really in here. First, we had our exhaustion. We had our cluster here, actually. We had our exhaustion here. We're looking for the sellers to drop it down to here, 04 or the figure. And then we stayed away, though, because we're getting a pullback here. And then it's back to this kind of center area or midpoint of all of this activity in here. And then it's either buyers above, sellers below. Okay, and you can see the buyers come in above, and we're looking for that continuation move now. Okay, now this can turn into our flag pattern in here, starting to fit some of the pieces in here. Impulse move. This is kind of odd to see in here, but now it's trading into high liquidity on the bid. Right now we're looking to see if we can get more buyers in here. Okay, so buyers back up above here at 27 or so. Can we get that? Nope, we had exhaustion here. Okay, so I'm not looking for that flag pattern right now. In fact, we're looking for it to come right back down to where it broke out from in here. Back down to, well, it already has tested 19, but we're looking for 16, 17 here. Okay, or maybe even all the way back down here to our pivot line or our point of control in here that we're looking at. I know it's not the point of control, but you can see exactly what I'm looking at, and this is exactly what we're covering with that kind of point of control idea. All right, in fact, we can put it on here, and this is why I'm not a real big fan of the point of. I like the point of control, but like lines on a chart, I just I don't like to make hard, fast rules around them. I'm looking for the order flow around specific areas. Yeah, I mean, we're above the most traded level here, but and you can see it's actually kind of a little bit of a low volume node in here, almost like a little double distribution in here. But nonetheless, we're looking for traders to buy back up above it, and they did. Therefore, we're looking for a continuation. Now, it traded right up to where? Our 35 level. Right, that was our measured move in here. Okay, I wanted to see 50. I wanted to see a pullback and then a continuation up into 50. Okay, we only got one move here, the breakout up into 35, and that's it. Let's see if I can add in rhythmic here, maybe a larger time frame chart. Dollar. Charts. 6E. .cme. That's it. Yeah, there we go. Okay. I got it here, but hold on a minute. Compact mode. I don't even want to see that though. Hold on. All right. Yeah, so yeah, here are the moves here. Look at the euro go up, right? What's going on in here? Well, everyone's speculating the Fed's going to lower rates. Okay? That maybe they even overshot. Maybe we're heading toward recession, and you can see the reaction here. Okay, and the stock market, This is this is why it's just so essential to follow your correlations in here and start to make some sense of what's going on in here with all these markets. Okay, so I mean we have a weak dollar here. Okay, well that should lead to a strong stock market. Well, so far it is actually at the moment for today. All right, let's see here now. We've got, so we were looking for that potential move all the way back down to our pivot level here at 09. And I see sellers below it here. Oh, that briefly did turn into a point of control in this back here again. So now we're looking for sellers. Well, sellers or buyers here. You know, this is really the case. And are we going to look for? We're looking for an inside out move here. So we're looking for buyers up in these areas in here, try to get back up above this level, or sellers back down below. And we know one thing we're looking for in here is volume, okay? High volume. And the order book can help us as well. We're looking for, well, look at this bid in here. Okay, pretty strong bid in here. Okay, well, let's see the sellers trade into it. Let's see it snap back above our point of control or our 12 level here. And let's see if the buyers come back in. Okay, we can see a pace of tape picking up here, right into high liquidity though. Another thing we can do, we can put the correlation tracker on here. Oh, I need to add, hold on, to add the 6E. Let's do that. I do not have the dollar index, so then we can add in our correlation tracker here on the ES. ES light. And we'll just select 6E, and we are good to go. And it's just loading. I'm using Bookmap data for this in here, for the 6E at least. Okay, got a lot of lines on here. Let's get rid of them. Okay, I've got our charts set up here pretty well now. Okay. All right, so this is the daily here on the ES. Euro dollar is above 110, and that's a big deal. You can see it many times tested up here on the daily, broke out. Yeah, I mean, Davide, you're correct. For every buyer, there's a seller, but we're looking at the ones that, well, we're looking at the context between the two. The ones that move the market are the aggressors. A lot of times, like this move in here, that's a stop run. Okay, or you can see pretty big stop runs in here. Put it that way. It's these sellers in here that are getting stopped. Okay, so stop run to stop run type of thing here. Okay, And we're back up above here again, guys, above our 10, or we're not above our 13 level here, not yet. I want to see the buyers back up above 13 for it to reach maybe back up into, no, it's 35 or 50. As I was going through all of that, we can see that we dropped down into 200 here and found some buyers. This is why I cannot get that correlation tracker up. Should work. It's available. Okay, here we go. Let's see it. Let's see if these buyers can come back in here. Right. We were looking at this chart here. Sorry about that. Here's our euro dollar in here. It's red. Sorry, we're looking at the Trader Map Lite version here. I'm so used to looking at the regular ES. In fact, let's take it off here. Just takes resources. Okay. Okay, yeah, so you can see the put in control moving up, more volume, more buy volume up at a higher level here. So let's see if we can get those buyers again. Okay, the bid looks pretty good. Okay, there we go. And I'm looking for the first test to be up here at 220. Okay, all this high liquidity, and this is where we see the pullback, and then the sellers come back in again here. So maybe 19 or 20, something like that. Okay. So it's kind of taking a rest here. Now we're looking for the move back up. Euro dollar also going up, so everything looking good here. Okay, it's trending pretty nicely, so we're looking for the continuation. Okay, maybe a bit of a pause right around this area here. No, it goes straight through it. Next level 30. Pace of tape is starting to pick up on the sell side here, so kind of interesting. So finding some sellers up here. All right, so continuation, still continuing. All right, just still looking for it to go higher. Till we see something different. We do see sellers coming in at some of these areas here, but we're looking at these areas of liquidity and this context in here. Context is bullish. Here we traded into this area here. Now we see the selling. We'd be looking for buyers actually in there, and we do see some, but we see some selling now. Okay, some exhaustion here, but I'm still looking for the high liquidity up here at 20 or 52.50. All right, some good stuff in here. AV-WAP is compressing. All right. Yeah, let's put the AV-WAP on here as well. Boy, it's so much easier just to like instead of taking positions in here, but I like it. I mean, we could be much more flexible with the live analysis, and that's a good thing. You know, we can read it and then not be attached to it, and then look for if something changes, we can very easily flip to another read. How's that euro dollar doing? It's selling off a little bit of dollar strength coming in. This red line in here. All right, let's see it, buyers. See that continuation now. Let's see if they can buy up here. Before, this is what happened. You can see like not a bad move, but some selling in here. This is pretty good. Then some selling up here, and it kind of tapers off here. Okay, but no, we're not seeing that now, right? So we're still looking for this 50 here. Okay, now double top in here. We don't see buying here, but I'm still looking for them. Still looking for them. Retest, buying. Let's see it up into the 50 here and hit that liquidity. We're covering a lot of different things in here today. I mean, like the exhaustion here. Well, we would look for the sellers to come in. We would. And we look for where they might come. I would be looking at this little area here. I don't know how much. Sometimes this little swing in here, but definitely like this kind of zone in here. And it came just shy of it, and then we found the buyers. And this is what's funny about exhaustion up here. Doesn't matter when we come back again and we find buyers. We see exhaustion here, but we don't here. We see the buyers come in, so buyers are still moving the market. And the liquidity is just up above here. A euro dollar starting to go down a bit. Okay, see the divergence here. Okay. So euro dollar is going down. Let's take a look here exactly what's happening with euro dollar. We could get a bounce off of this area in here. Any questions, guys? We're on YouTube. Such a thing as buying puts. Yeah, sure. For example, on the heat map where you see buyers below. Well, DK, those are options. It's very different. Yeah, I mean, they obviously it relates to the underlying, but and vice versa. But depending on the size of the options. But no, I mean, we're looking here at the participants in this auction here. Tech is doing well. Okay, Nvidia is up. You can see 930, Nvidia up. Let's see how Apple is doing. Apple is up. Only have 2 stocks. We have the VIX here, like I showed you earlier. The VIX is hitting some resistance in here. So let's see if we can get a little bit more selling here on the VIX. Nice selling in here. Beautiful little move up into this liquidity here, and then sells off. A bunch of buying in here, but sellers come back in. Okay, so I'm still here in the VIX looking for some sellers to hit back down into this 2690-ish, 27 area. Okay, so that would mean we're looking for the this liquidity, still looking for this liquidity up here to trade. Okay, here we go. Let's see if these buyers can do it now. Kind of gone back and forth in here. Nope, not yet. So sellers might get one more shot at it to the bottom of the range in here, and then we'll see if we can get those buyers come back in. So Davide, like your question, to properly answer it, we get this question all the time, and it's not so it's not so straightforward, the answer, because it's the context between these elements, and let me go through it here. Okay, what do I mean by that? And it always, to me, it sounds like it's a cop-out, but it's not. It simply isn't. These up here in the heat map, these are sellers. These are limit sell orders, a lot of them. Well, it's actually not a whole lot, to be honest. I mean, it is for today in terms of liquidity. I mean, 82, 61 here. But it's a lot for the context for today. All right. Because it's volatile, it's not a whole lot, to be honest. We saw like 2,700 the other day trade. Okay, 3,200 trade. Right, but that's where the sellers are. This is supply up here. Now, here's our move into 50. This is what we're looking for, and we're getting there. Okay, yep, still looking for it. Now what we want to understand is the aggressors here, the market buy and sell orders versus the context between the limit sell orders up here. Okay, so here's our context. Look at this right here. We're looking for buyers up here. We didn't get them. Now we're looking for some sellers to come in, at least trade back down here, maybe to here, because we couldn't muster it here, right? Buyers into liquidity. No buyers here. Watch the sellers take it back down into the mean or other side of the range here. And now it doesn't mean that buyers might, maybe they'll scoop it up down here, and we'll see. That's what we're looking for. That's what I mean by context. Okay, now the context is a little more complex. This is a double top in here, kind of. It's kind of like, there's a lot of things. There's like a triple top, I guess. Doesn't matter. Buyers. Some buyers at a lower high, a higher high here, but very little buying. Okay, so there's no market up here. It's exhausted itself out from buyers. Now note what we had down here. We had a cluster of sellers in here. Okay, so high liquidity filled, doesn't go much higher. I'm surprised that 50 didn't trade. And I'm still actually looking for it to trade, but right now, no. sellers are coming in, okay? And it happened right here, okay? And then we saw it move away. We're looking for sellers, and we're looking for the test back down to, I don't know, we called a 44, or yeah, maybe back down to this kind of 41-ish area. We might get down into 37 here, okay? But yeah, this is the some of the key levels. Okay, so here we go, down to 37. Okay, and then we're going to look up for the same thing in here. Does this make sense? So it's this context and understanding both the buyers and sellers, and on both sides, the aggressors and the passive orders, resting orders. Okay, so that's when we get into, this is exhaustion here from the aggressor side. There's no aggressive buying here. Now, absorption is when we trade into high liquidity in some of these areas in here, and we do not trade through it, okay? Or in here is kind of partially absorbed. It traded through it, but not by a whole lot. And then you see the back and forth, and then the sellers come in, okay? So now look what we've done. We've traded back down to the bottom of this range, and now we found some buyers here. Okay, so the context, what's the context down here? Let's look at this. So now our 50 is going to trade, okay? It's like almost guaranteed that now we've got some momentum in here, and we're looking for 50 to transact and through it here. There they go. Let's see if they can get up to 55 and 60 now. All right. So again, context. Now, what's the let's ditch that context on the one down here. This one's better. High liquidity here, trades through it to 52. Not so many buyers up here. Starts to dribble off. We found some sellers here, and this is the battleground here at 49 or 50. And the sellers were able to take it back down to the bottom of the range here. So now again, we're looking for, what's the bid look like? Okay, well, they're here at 47. See how they pulled and they went lower? They even pulled here and went lower. So do they want to bid here? No. Maybe they want to be buyers down here at this swing here. Okay, we're looking for when they stay in the book and when they transact. Yeah, Alex, you can use the absorption indicator. It should be working. I'll put it up on the chart here from the Map Lite version. I haven't had any issues with it. Let's see. I'm going to filter it, Alex, by using the automatic mode here. Okay, and then you can see that once I check that box, it fills in 80 up here. Okay, so then I'm going to deselect it, and now I can put in whatever number I want here. So I'm looking for absorption when it is 80 or greater, basically. Okay, and you can see it marked it up on the charts here. So actually buyers were, all it means here is very simple indicator, is that within a very short period, let me just show you, within a very short period, a lot traded. Within 0.01 seconds, 80 contracts or more traded. That's all it means. But what we assume then is that it must have been a big order on the other side that absorbed all of that. Okay, so and then we're starting to look at these areas in here. Okay, now you can even put, use the market pulse tool to give some insight to some of these areas in here. Right, so maybe you had too many on there for absorption and sweeps. Maybe the filter would be more helpful, Alex. Okay, here we go again. Buyers again up here. We're finding a bid, right? I'm looking for them to take it higher here. Okay, how's our euro dollar? Let's take a look. It's starting to sell off here a little bit. I mean, it came back up. Actually, it's not so bad. It's just retesting here. All right, so to answer, I think the question that we had last week that was from Valley Fan about understanding what's going on in these markets, and it was a difficult period to trade, is exactly due to this environment in here, these kind of wild swings where we see all sorts of things going on that have to deal with interest rates and correlated markets, etc. Carry trades unwinding, whatever it might be. It could be geopolitical stuff, could be all of those. Okay, but this is what we want to comprehend, and then look for the order flow to support the direction that we want, or to get the insight. And so far so good here on that buy side. Now we were looking for that. I'm going to take the absorption off, if you don't mind, Alex. Yeah, it is taking some resources. I can feel it here in the computer. And yeah, you can boost this up in here though. If this will help for sure. Double it and see what you get. Right. So in this environment, it might be a good idea. I'm going to take it off for now. All right, and so let's wrap it up. And guys, if you don't mind, hit the like button. That always helps us out. So we've traded into 50. Now we're looking for more buying back up above 50 and continuation. Okay, so far not the easiest read. It's kind of tapered off in here. We're looking for that read for quite a while in here. Back here we're looking for it. And then once we started to see that pullback, and we saw the move all the way back down here, and we were looking, because of that, we covered it. I mean, we're looking for the continuation move, but once we started to see that selling come back in, and we also had the point of the pace of tape pick up on the sell side, I believe. So we're looking for this cluster as a pullback here, and then down to where it initiated here, or all the way back down to oh yeah, we had it was a point of control down here, but also our 10 or 13 level here, right? So we trade through it, see the high liquidity getting filled on the bid in here, and we snap right back up in here. And then we started looking at our euro dollar, and we're still looking for the potential move back up into, originally we're looking for 35. We got that. I thought we'd get a flag pattern here, like a pullback and then a continuation. Well, we got all the way back down to here again, and then we see the buying come back in once again, and then now we have hit 50. Okay, so it's kind of all over the place, but we had the read, and we're looking for that buying to continue on up into these areas. Okay, so now what do we got? All right, so now we're seeing the selling start to come in. Okay, look at the bars, look at the dots, and look at the price action up in here. Okay, price action, I mean the market structure. Right, so now we're going to get a big sell-off. Well, let's take a look here. Okay, how's that euro dollar doing too? Okay, it's pretty flat. So maybe we just kind of chop in here for a while, back up to 47, maybe 49 or 50 here. Okay, one thing for sure though, we traded up into this 50 liquidity up in here in 47, and it got filled up in these areas here. Okay, and now we're see this kind of potential. Now I don't think we're there yet, but the potential for the reversal here, the cluster selling in here. All right, this is from our knowledge base, or our learning center. We have this flag, or this reversal pattern. Same ideas. Now here's our pullback. Do we find buyers there? Nope. So I'm looking for sellers to retest it right back down to 39, and we may break. Okay, back down not just to 37, but 32 or lower. Okay. How's our euro dollar doing? Well, I'm seeing dollar strength. Okay, great. That's aligned. So I'm looking for sellers, looking for them to hit the bid 39, and we have the potential to now break that. Yeah, I like this 30 level again, back down here in this swing as the move. So from 39 down to 30. All right, guys, I got to go. Thanks for coming, everybody. We will catch up with you tomorrow. Good trading out there. Be careful with the volatility. But look at some of these correlated markets. You might want to just kind of sit back and kind of digest some of these things instead of just jumping in and swinging for the fences here. All right. Okay. Thanks for coming, everybody. We will catch up with you tomorrow.